The Moon by Saloni The. When did the moon form and how? The theory of the moon's origin that best fits the evidence is the collision theory. It is believed that about 4.5 billion years ago, when the Earth was very young, an object the size of about Mars collided with the Earth. Material from the object and the outer layers of the Earth were thrown into an orbit around the Earth. Scientists believed that the material eventually combined and formed into our moon. Where is it located? The Earth is the moon's closest neighbor in space. It is closer than any other planet. The distance from the Earth to the moon is about 30 times the Earth's diameter. So, about 384,400 kilometers. How big is the moon? The moon is 3,476 kilometers in diameter. This is around the distance across the United States of America. The diameter is only about 1/4 of the Earth's diameter, and the mass is only about 1/18 the mass of the Earth. The Earth has a very dense core, but the outer layers are less dense. The moon's density is about the same density as the outer layers of the Earth. What is the moon composed of? A lot of rocks on the moon are formed by the cooling of molten material, so we know that the surface must have been very hot. Like the Earth, the moon has many layers. In the center, the innermost layer is the lunar core, which is made of metallic iron and some sulfur and nickel. It is partly molten. Next is the largest layer, the mantle. It extends up 50 kilometers to below the surface. Scientists think this layer is made up of many different minerals, like the ones I'm pointing to now. It is believed to be more iron-rich than the Earth's mantle. The outer layer, the crust, is the layer scientists seem to know the most about. The crust is composed of oxygen, silicon, magnesium, iron, calcium, and aluminum. There are also trace elements such as titanium, potassium, and hydrogen. What do we know about the moon, and what are we still unsure about? We know a lot of things about the moon, such as the phases. The phases of the moon you see depends on how much of the sunlit side of the moon faces the Earth. The phases are the first quarter, the waxing crescent, new moon, waning crescent, third quarter, waning gibbous, full moon, and waxing gibbous. The moon goes through all the phases in about a month. And also, since the sun lights the moon, almost half of the moon is always lit. Another important thing about the moon are eclipses. This is when the moon completely blocks out the sun. It turns dark as if it's night, and the air cools. Tides, which are the periodic rises and falls of large bodies of water, are caused by the gravitational interaction between the Earth and the moon. This causes the oceans to bulge out in the direction of the moon. There is also another bulge on the opposite side, since the Earth is also being pulled towards the moon. Since the Earth rotates, there are 2 tides every day. How did we learn this? Well, we found out all these things by using satellites and taking samples from the moon. Every year, the moon moves about 4 centimeters away from the Earth. Also, scientists believe that going to the moon will help them to obtain new insight into how the universe works and our own origins. There were many scientists who were important in gaining knowledge about the moon. For example, William Gilbert. He made the first drawing of the moon viewed by the naked eye. Then, Galileo Galilei, the first person to report viewing lunar mountains and craters. Next is Michael van Langren. He produced the first map of the moon. Last but not least is Ralph Baldwin. He showed that the craters in the moon were formed by impact, not volcanoes. Bibliography.